think I did it, guys. Third eye is open. Smooth sailing from here. Alright, so I'm going to take the first couple, oh that's right, the stretches. So yesterday we had figured out that we got to do these stretches. So basically, the guy wanted us to do was to kind of like massage your forearm, right? And do this in both arms. Massage your wrist, massage your palm, and just get the blood flowing all the way up to the tips of your fingers. Before you do any stretches, you just kind of want to massage them and make sure that the blood is flowing. Give them like a little squeeze. It's kind of masturbatory in a weird way, but you know, we're just gonna massage these hands, these fingers. We gotta protect these guys. It's gonna make us millions of dollars, so we don't want them pooping out on us. So now I'm gonna do my other hand, and then at the end I'm gonna just like squeeze like the tips. That sounds weird, but I just want to get like the blood up all the way to the tips. Alright. Now I'm just fucking trying to force as much blood as possible up through the fingers. I don't know if I'm really doing this totally perfect. I imagine I'm getting some work done though. But we can try to refine this with time. I'm not going to spend a ton of time figuring out stretches. So this is the stretch we learned. You got to lock your elbow out, right? So get your elbow all the way locked. Then you want to get your fingers kind of like not quite in like full extension, but like out, right? And you want to take each one and then just kind of pull it back. Right? And then you want to do this thing where it's like you like open and close the rest of your fingers. And you feel this stretch in like the bottom of the wrist. Because normally when we play guitar, we like bend our wrist back like forward like this. So now we're getting a lot of bending back the other way. That hurts. That feels good, man. That's a big relief. Whew. So that's one finger. Oh man. That middle finger. Whoa, that's a lot of relief. I feel like this is definitely the good idea. I want to start our practices off with that. Alright, maintain that. See, I got some shoulder problems. I'm going to be going into, this is neither here nor there, but I'm going to get the shoulder checked out soon. And I think that'll help me get this elbow lock extension a little better. So My pinky's all weird. I have a weird pinky on my left hand. Especially because of all the stretching, like, not like the stretches we're doing now, but like the stretching on the guitar that we do. So I wonder if I could like rotate it. Oh yeah, I get a better stretch. Oh yeah, I definitely need that area. Alright, so that's my left hand. Let's like shake that out a little bit. Supposedly that's a good idea, shaking it out. Alright, now let's do the right hand. Start with the pointer finger. Alright, alright. Let's try the middle finger. Sorry guys, I'm sorry I'm flipping you all off like this. That is a crazy good stretch. I feel like the middle finger is always the best one for these stretches that I'm doing. Well, I say always, I've done them like twice. But the middle finger, like, you really feel that one. Holy shit. God damn. Alright, that was the index. Let's get like one more good stretch for that one. Okay, okay, and then let's do the pinky. Oh man. Alright, shake it out. Put your right hand in, put your right hand out. Put your right hand in, you shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and turn it off, turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Alright, let's do these spider walks now. My guitar isn't feeding through. What happened? Alright, so the stereo input doesn't work for some reason, but the mono of the loop does. Is that why I got such a good price on this thing? Is that the stereo is broken? Alright, whatever. Hold on. Gotta tune this puppy up. So I think I'm gonna turn off talking mode for a second. I'm gonna put on a good podcast about consciousness, and I'm just gonna breeze through these spider walks and these variations, because I have a bad habit of just running my trap and making these things take longer than they need to. So we're going to put on the case against reality. That's a classic of mine, or a favorite of mine, rather. Reality is an illusion. There is no reality. You fucking retards. You think there's a reality? What are you, fucking stupid?
The big topic of consciousness. Okay. This very beautiful, powerful things that perhaps is the thing that makes us human. What is it? What's the role of consciousness in, let's say, even just the thing we've been talking about, which is the formation of this interface? Any kind of ways you want to kind of start talking about it?
Well, let me say first what most of my colleagues say. 99% are, again, assuming that space-time is fundamental. Particles in space-time, matter is fundamental. And most are reductionist. And so the standard approach to consciousness is to figure out what complicated systems of matter with the right functional properties could possibly lead to the emergence of consciousness. That's the general idea. Right? So maybe you have to have neurons. Maybe only if you have neurons, but that might not be enough. They have to have certain kinds of complexity in their organization and their dynamics. Certain kind of network abilities, for example. So there are those who say, for example, that consciousness arises from orchestrated collapse of quantum states of microtubules in neurons. So this is Hamelin and so you start with something physical, a property of quantum states of neurons, of microtubules in neurons, and you say that somehow an orchestrated collapse of those is consciousness or conscious experiences. Or integrated information theory. Again, you start with something physical. If it has the right kind of functional properties, something they call phi, with the right kind of integrated information, then you have consciousness.
I would say the stretches definitely make my fingers feel different. They feel like a little more loose. However, I'm not used to that looseness, so it feels like a little just
those particles
a little weird,
are not just matter; they also could have.
I'm gonna do that every day, and I'll probably get used to that looseness, and it's probably for the best.
But once again, you're taking space and time and particles as fundamental, and you're adding a new property to them, say consciousness, and then you have to talk about how.
I'm gonna lower this podcast a tiny bit.
Neutron,
I don't need it that loud.
Or proton and electron get together to form hydrogen, and how those consciousnesses.
All right.
Merge.
I'm gonna try to lower it down to 60.
Hydrogen, and so forth.
And then.
There's a tension schema theory.
That's a multiple of 120, which we were just playing. But basically, I'm gonna do this. So we can probably do the exact same speed, but I'm gonna see if I can reach the eighth notes.
There's global workspace theory.
Basically.
And neuronal.
Or quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I want to see if I can reach eighth notes. That's what it is. So check this. And for the 60, basically, this is 1 per beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Half notes is this. 2, 4, quarter notes is this. The 1 click, click, click. The click is on the 1. Check this. This is eighth notes because I can squeeze it in. You do 2 whole phrases, and then you get to it's like this.
The periodic table of elements.
Alright, hold up. I'll see if I can dial this in.
Fire and water. There's combustion science. Fundamental? No.
I'll do where the clicks are.
Fundamental. Those are the wrong building blocks.
Click, click, click. So that's a little sloppy, but I think that'd be worth dialing in. And we could start at 60. And so we could be like, yeah, we're doing eighth notes. Whereas if you're doing eighth notes at 120, that would be like unbelievable. But eighth notes at 60 is doable, and it's pretty cool.
The periodic table isn't it. It's good for chemistry. It's just wonderful for chemistry. But if you're trying to go deep, fundamental, what is the fundamental science? That's not it.
This is quarter. One, click, So, alright, let's shut the fuck up and we'll try to dial that in.
My feeling is so sad that they weren't like with their fire and water, you could actually make progress. I mean, so it doesn't matter how smart you are. If you start with fire and water, you're not going to get anywhere.
Actually, just because the word doom is so interesting. Let me give you some options. Is space-time, say, is reality doomed?
I'm gonna lower it to 50.
Still be right, and we're now ready to go deep. So it's not wrong. It's not a complete deviation.
There we go.
Air, fire, and water.
Right. Well, there's also wrong, which is they used to believe, as I recently learned, that George Washington, the first president of the United States, was bludgeoned to death for something that could have been easily treated. Because it was believed that I don't know where you're getting out the bleeding of a person. But so that and
So let's just do these variations then.
But it could see, but bleeding somebody was believed to be a useful tool. And that was wrong. It wasn't just not fundamental. It was very. I'm sure there's cases of bleeding
Bring it up to 100.
Yeah, so you're saying size doesn't matter. Okay, this is very important for me.
Alright,
stuck
I'm gonna play double speed.
inside the data structure. So you seem to be getting closer and closer. What the neural networks of neurons, neurons to chemistry, chemistry to particles, particles to neurons, neurons. Are getting closer and closer to where you are getting closer and closer to the actual structure of the data structure of space and time, the irreducible representations of it. That's what you're getting closer to.
Got sloppy towards
Not
the end.
to a deeper understanding of what's beyond space-time.
You
Alright.
also referred.
Alright,
We'll
alright,
return
alright.
again to this question.
Let's try the hammer-ons and pull-offs. I'm gonna bring it down to, to 70.
Saying that space-time is doomed, but mostly focusing on the space part of that. It's very interesting to see why time is the bad cred too, because how do you have dynamics without time is the thing I'd love to talk about. But let us return your brilliant whirlwind overview of different theories of consciousness that are out there. What is consciousness outside of space?
If we think that we
Turn
want
it
to have a
to
model of
80.
consciousness, we, as scientists, then have to say, what do we want to write down? What kind of mathematical model do we want to write down? If you think about it, there's lots of things that you might want to write down about consciousness. It's really complicated stuff. So most of my colleagues are saying, let's start with matter or neurons and see what properties of matter could create consciousness. But I'm saying that whole
Sometimes,
thing
see,
is out.
I'll fuck up the pull-ups.
That whole thing is out.
Let's do them some more.
We need to look at consciousness.
Let's try just doing pull-offs to see if we can like dial that in.
Something that arises in space and time. Perhaps it's something that creates space and time as a data structure. So what do we want? And here again, there's no hard and fast rule, but what you as a scientist have to do is to pick what you think are the minimal assumptions that are going to allow you to boot up a comprehensive theory. That is the trick. So what do I want? So what I want is to have three things. I said that there are conscious experiences. Feeling of the smell of experiencing there are conscious. So that's a primitive of theory. And the reason I want few primitives, why? Because those are miracles. Right? The primitives, the assumptions of the theory are the things you're not going to explain. Those are the things you assume.
Those experiences, particularly, there's a subjectiveness to them. It's the thing that people refer to the
I
hard
suck
part
at these
of
pull-offs.
consciousness, is it feels like something to look at the color red. Okay.
Exactly right. It feels like something they have a headache.
Something's so simple. So simple.
It feels like something. So I'm going to grant that in this theory there are experiences that are called conscious experiences. So they're not derived from physics. They're not functional properties of particles. They are subjects. They exist. Just like we assume space-time exists. I'm now saying space-time is just a data structure, doesn't exist independently. Conscious experiences.
Sorry to interrupt once again, but should we be focusing in your thinking on humans alone? Or is there something about in relation to other types of organisms that have a sufficient high level of complexity? Or is there some kind of generalization of the panpsychist idea that all consciousness permeates all matter? Outside of the usual definition of what matter is inside space-time.
Beyond human consciousness, from my point of view, would be one of a countless variety of consciousness. And even within human consciousness, there's a countless variety of consciousness within us. You have your left and right hemisphere. And apparently, if you split the corpus callosum, the personality of the left hemisphere and the religious beliefs of the left hemisphere can be very different from the right hemisphere. And their conscious experiences can be disjointed. One could have one conscious experience. They can play 20 questions. The left hemisphere can have an idea in its mind. The right hemisphere has to guess. And it might not get it. So even within you, there is more than just one consciousness. It's lots of consciousnesses. So the general theory of consciousness that I'm after is not just human
Now I'm
consciousness.
interested to
It's going
see
to be just consciousness, but
how we
I
can
feel
view these
human consciousness
four
is a
string metal
tiny
shapes now that we've
drop in the bucket.
done all these stretches. I wonder if that'll affect it much.
That said, I should clarify
I'm
that
gonna start at the
black
12.
hole of consciousness
Keep it at 80.
is, the home cat. I'm pretty sure cat's lack is the embodiment of evil and lack all capacity for consciousness or compassion. I just want to lay that out. That's a theory I'm working. I don't have any
pause this shit for a second. The thumb starts to just burn. It just burns once you get around to this 5th fret. I don't know how to stop that. I think my fingers are definitely way looser, but that thumb burning thing, it's like, what can I do to alleviate that? Like, is it a technique thing? Like, should I wrap my thumb around like this? Alright, I'm gonna detour for a little bit, and I'm gonna turn on some burnt. So I remember he had some good information at some point about like thumb position, left hand thumb position. Technique mistakes 89% of guitarists make and how to fix them. And then he has another one called "This exercise solved my biggest technique frustration." So we're gonna try to go through these real quickly.
If you're into fast and fluid legato lines, you definitely clicked on the right video today.
We're gonna skip to.
Because I'm willing to bet that you're making 1 or 2 fretting hand techniques.
Oh, here's worst mistake. Worst mistake right here is the thumb.
You might already know that thumb position plays a huge role with finger technique, meaning where your thumb is positioned in relation to your fingers that are hitting the fretboard. If you're familiar with my playing, you know that I get the best results when I position my thumb in the area behind my middle finger, just
That
like
is
this.
so area
that
behind
kind
his
of grip.
middle finger. So that is how I should be putting my thumb. I'm not totally crazy, but it should be behind the middle finger. Huh, imagine that. Dude, the crazy thing is, I think a couple weeks ago I was like hypothesizing that. I was like, do I want to put it here? Like, yeah, and so this thing where it's like you're like fucking pushing up like bang, I thought that was wrong because it's like I keep doing that, but it's like that's like a natural place to put your thumb, but it feels painful. But if you position it behind the middle finger, it seems like it then it doesn't hurt them. So maybe we can watch some stuff. Seems like he has some extra tips on this
Gives me
subject.
the best support for my fingers, and that's especially helpful
Put it on
when it comes to legato.
1.25 speed.
And if you paid close attention right now to my thumb while I was playing,
it just occurred to me another thing we could put on our, he just mentioned it, legato. So we could put that on our miscellaneous skills to practice, legato. And while we're at it, also write down vibrato. Even though I'm already the vibrato king.
you already witnessed my absolute biggest technique revelation when it comes to legato. So as we're looking at this slowed down footage, you can clearly see that my thumb is moving along with my fingers when I'm switching between the different strings. To make this clearly visible for you, I marked the starting point on the low E string and the position of my thumb as soon as I reach the high E string. So it's not locked into the same position when I'm playing complex scale phrases like that. I want to make sure to move it along with my fingers as I'm playing. Reason number 1 is consistency. Because I get the same feeling and the same technique on the lower strings and on the higher strings, I don't have to change my wrist angle or my finger position.
I feel like the big metal shaped thing really causes a lot of like, what is it, lactic acid to build up, something like that.
So even just slightly moving along like this immediately feels much better than just staying right here and locking the thumb in this position. As you can hear, that doesn't sound as clean anymore, and I also really feel it in my shoulder because I have to move my hand like this. I always felt like I couldn't really nail legato licks on the higher strings at the beginning. I felt much more comfortable on the lower strings, and this instantly fixed my problem. And the second reason why this is so awesome concerns your grip and your tension with your fretting hand in general. Because in order to get the best, most clean and efficient results with legato, you have to stay very relaxed with your fretting hand.
Okay.
And when you're moving your thumb along with your fingers like this, you actually can't really grip the neck, because as soon as the grip is too tight, you can't move your thumb anymore.
Doing these legato licks, you can't really grip it tight. You have to be relaxed.
So this playing style is so awesome because it really forces you to stay relaxed with your fretting hand and to play with a light grip. And as soon as you mention to that, I also want to show you some fun and easy exercises with special focus on that kind of thumb placement and thumb movement.
There's a whole exercise based on the thumb placement. So
a great and really effective way of starting out with this is just taking one of your favorite 3-note string scales, like G harmonic minor. And and really just playing it ascending and descending and focusing on moving your thumb along. And I really like mixing a short burst of triplets in there to make it more challenging. Let's look at that a bit slower from the other side.
Alright, so triplets. Put it behind the middle finger, eh? See, now I'm gonna have to retrain my whole thumb positioning, because I always have it behind the first finger. But that makes a lot of sense. Put it behind the middle, because then you have so much more leverage, right? Here, we'll work on this thing. We'll put that in the picking exercises and rhythm, but we're gonna return to the 4-note per string and see what we can do when we think about that behind the middle finger, right? Or thumb behind the middle finger. All right. Not clean because it feels different, but let's just work on this. Alright, so then now the pain that sort of sets in is back in like the pinky area, which I think is better. Or I don't know if that's good or bad or whatever, but it's definitely an improvement than the thumb, because if the thumb hurts, then the whole thing falls apart. So we'll take the little victories. So yeah, every day now we're going to focus very hard on putting our thumb behind our middle finger rather than our first finger. So that's clearly much better. That's clearly a much better place to put it. But it's going to take some fucking around with to get used to it. Because muscle memory is a very real thing. So we could probably skip the dream sequence thing, the hold, step, the whole tone intervals. And then we'll just do, we're going to the triads. I'm going to turn that podcast back on. And then I'm really just gonna fuck around with it without even thinking about it that hard. Well, I'm just gonna go through all the intervals, or all of the inversions, and we're just gonna do all of those inversions every single day until like we just have them totally memorized. And we already sort of have them memorized, but we're just gonna get them like so ingrained. I have them as much as the scales. I should have done that at the beginning. I got all the scales perfectly memorized. The triads and their inversions and their arpeggios are different. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. We got these vertical triads, so I'm going to work on that. That's a really important thing. We figured that out yesterday. The vertical triads. So we're going to do the regular triads, then we're going to do the inversions, then we're going to do like the vertical triads, and then we're going to turn them into arpeggios.
Cautions me that people people will think that I'm bringing in a notion of a self or agency and so forth when I say conscious agent. So I just want to say that I use the term conscious agent merely as a technical term. There is no notion of self in my fundamental definition of conscious agent. There are only experiences and probabilistic relationships of how they trigger other experiences.
The agent is the generator of the conscious experience.
The agent is a mathematical structure. It's a probability measure, the probability space of possible conscious experiences, and a Markovian kernel, which describes how, if this agent has certain conscious experiences, how that will affect the experiences of other conscious agents.
We don't think of that as a self.
There is no notion of self. There is no notion of
Is there a locality? Is there an orbital space? There's no.
so these are conscious units, conscious entities.
They're distinct. Because they have to interact.
Well, so here's the interesting thing. When we write down the mathematics, we have two of these conscious agents interacting. This pair satisfy a definition of a conscious agent. So they are a single conscious agent. So there is one conscious agent.
So I'm thinking about, even with these triads, I'm trying to retrain my thumb position while I do this as well. So that's going to take a second to really get ingrained. But even with the triads, I see how much of a difference it makes. Even though I think really that's more for like big stretchy metal and like gato licks and all that, I think that is very a good idea. Thumb behind the middle finger.
Notion of learning, memory, problem solving, intelligence, self, agency. So none of that is fundamental. So and the reason I did that was because I want to assume as little as possible. Everything I assume is a miracle. There is not something to explain, it's something to assume. So I have to build networks of conscious agents. So if I want to measure myself, I have to build a self. I have to build learning, memory, problem solving, intelligence, and planning. These different things. I have to build networks of conscious agents to do that. It's a trivial fact that networks of conscious agents are computational universal as true. So anything that we can do with neural networks or automata, you can do with networks of conscious agents. That's true. But you can also do more. The events and probability space need not be computable. So the Markovian dynamics is not restricted to because the so this can capture any computer theory. Anything we can do with neural networks, we can do with conscious agents. But these open the door for the possibility of computable interactions between conscious agents. So we have to there's a lot of theory of memory. There's lots of different ways you can build. We've actually got a paper, Chris Fields took the lead on this. We have a paper called Conscious Agent Networks where Chris takes the lead and shows how to use these networks of conscious agents to build memory and to build primitive kinds of learning.
But can you provide some projection of what conscious networks,
vertical triads now.
That have no consciousness. And we have to explain how the conscious experience of the taste of chocolate could emerge from those. So that's the typical hard problem of consciousness is that problem, right? How do you boot up the taste of chocolate, the experience of the taste of chocolate from neurons, say, or the right kind of artificial intelligence circuitry? How do you boot that up? That's typically what the hard problem of consciousness means to research. Notice that I'm changing the problem. I'm not trying to then the only thing that mathematical structure can be about is and that suggests to me that there could be an infinite variety of consciousnesses, and a ravishingly small fraction of them is space-time data structures, the kind of structures that we use. There's an infinite variety of data structures. Now, this is very similar to something that Max Tegmark has said, but I want to distinguish it. He has his level 4 multiverse idea. He thinks that mathematics is fundamental. And so that's the fundamental reality. And since there's an infinite variety of endless variety of mathematical structures, there's an infinite variety of multiverses in his view. I'm saying something similar in spirit, but importantly different. There's an infinite variety of mathematical structures, absolutely. But mathematics isn't the fundamental reality in this framework. Consciousness is. And mathematics is to consciousness like bones are to an organ beneath the bone. So mathematics is not divorced from consciousness, but it's not the entirety of consciousness by any means. And so there's an infinite variety of consciousnesses and signaling cables that consciousnesses could interact with. Therefore, worlds,
So
common worlds, data structures,
sometimes it's like
to
we
communicate.
could play the whole
So
arpeggio
space-time is
shape,
just one
right?
variety.
From all the inversions, we could do that, right?
Outside of our little
So this is like the G major one,
um,
or like the G major shape rather, right? But that's kind of a big stretch, so it's a little easier to go from like down here, go pole arm, right?
We actually know, by the way, that apparently there are women
That's a little easier to do.
called tetrafems.
Or not just easier, it's just
Four color receptors,
makes more sense.
not just three. And Kimberly Jameson and others who've studied these women have good evidence that they apparently have a new dimension of color experience that the rest of us don't have. So these women are apparently
just because we have all the inversions down, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the optimal way to play the arpeggio, right?
and yet there are real color experiences. So in that sense, I'm saying, now take that little baby step. Oh, there are women who have color experiences that I could never have. Oh, that's shocking. Now take that. If there are consciousnesses where every aspect of their experiences is like that new color, it's something utterly alien to you. You have nothing like that. And yet these are all possible varieties of conscious experience.
When you say there's a lot of consciousnesses, is a singular consciousness basically the set of possible experiences you can have in that subjective way, as opposed to the underlying mechanism? You say that, having extra.
So let's work on these vertical triads.
Ability to have new experiences that's somehow a different consciousness. Is there a way to see that as all the same consciousness, the subjectivity itself?
Right, because when we have two of these conscious agents interacting with mathematics, they actually satisfy the definition of a conscious agent. So in fact, they are a single conscious agent. So in fact, one way to think about what I'm saying, I'm postulating with my colleagues, Jay, John, and Chris, and others, there's entirely from a theory of conscious agents outside of space-time, with the dynamics outside of space-time. So and I can tell you how we plan to do that, but that's the idea.
Okay, so the magic of it, the chocolate is delicious. So there's a mathematical kind of thing that we could say here, how to emerge within this system of networks of conscious agents. But is there going to be at the end of the proof why chocolate is so delicious? Or no? I guess I'm going to ask different kinds of dumb questions to try to sneak up.
Oh, well, that's the right question. When I say that I took conscious experiences as fundamental, what that means is, in the current version of my theory, I'm not explaining conscious experiences. That's the miracle. That's the miracle. So I have two miracles in my theory. There are conscious experiences like the taste of chocolate, and that there's a probabilistic relationship. When certain conscious experiences occur, others are more likely to occur. Those are the two miracles that
Possible to get beyond that, somehow still chip away at the miracleness of that miracle. Why chocolate is so delicious.
I hope so. I've got my hands full with what I'm doing right now, but I can just say at top level how I think about that. That would get at this consciousness without form. This is going to be really, this is really tough, because consciousness without form versus the various forms of consciousness takes the experiences that we have.
Right.
And so when we do these vertical triads, we can find more necessarily more interesting, but like more esoteric and abstract relationships of notes, right? So we could express this like this. That'd be pretty simple. Where that's like a more complicated expression of the same series of notes. So I'm sure there's a utility to that at some point. But I think the main utility of the vertical triads, as you see, the larger relationship of notes expressed vertically.
It is solving the hard problem, which is like from where does this thing pop up, which is the mechanism of the thing popping up. Whatever consciousness, there's different kinds, and so that mechanism. And also, the question I want to ask is, how tricky do you think it is to solve? We've solved a lot of difficult problems throughout the history of humanity. There's probably more problems to solve left than we've solved by like infinity. But
So what is this note?
of intelligent species, when will we solve this consciousness?
So this is a major triad, but when I throw in that note, it sounds very dissonant. So let's make a 4-note arpeggio out of that.
That is the reverse of what my colleagues call the problem of how do you start with conscious experiences in the way that I just described in dynamics and build up space and time and brains. That, I think, is a tough technical problem, but it's simple to solve. So we would solve the hard problem. Not much more.
So it's a 1, flat second, major third, perfect fifth. That's a very odd triad right there.
So that I think.
Does that allow you to, that's interesting idea, perfect consciousness creates the brain.
Or it's not a triad, it's a 4-note arpeggio.
My guess is that it will I'll tell you why, but I think it plugs into
See, it makes me want to put in this minor 6 as well. and turn it into like a weird 5-note pentatonic.
The other answer to your question is as I said earlier, I think that there is no such thing as a theory. So that I think that the theory that my team is working on, this conscious agent theory, is just the 1.0 theory. We're using probability spaces and Markov. I can easily see people now saying, well, we can do better if we go to categories.
Alright, and then now I put in
And then someone will say, well, how about going to
a
2.0?
fourth, so that makes it into a 6-note scale.
Conscious agents, 5, 10, 3 trillion, 1.0.
And now I throw in the 7th, and now it's a 7-note scale, and all of the interesting is gone. I think that's a mode of harmonic minor. I'm not sure which one. I think that might be the dominant Phrygian. So, I really like the sound of the dominant 7 arpeggio, where it's like minor, major, minor, major, minor, major. Or it's major, minor, major, minor. You know what? I'm gonna throw on the board.
Interesting sticking points.
Hang on, let me separate these areas real quick.
Well, Annika and I just had a conversation this morning.
Hold on.
Talking about
Hammer on and pull off
discovered really in our
exercises.
conversation
I'm gonna
was
put that under miscellaneous
we're
skills.
pretty much on the same page. It was really just
About
trigonometry.
consciousness.
About consciousness, yeah. Our ideas about consciousness are pretty much on the same page. She rightly has cautioned me to, when I talk about conscious agents, to point out that the notion of agency is not.
Because those, my hammer-ons and pull-offs need to be polished up, and so I think we need to put some
That's absolutely true.
exercises
Use this network of conscious agents
just for that skill. I don't know if this is all going to happen today. I think we're going to try to focus mostly on rhythm and picking, and then later today I'm going to come back and try to record some demos.
and to build models of agency, but they're not.
So let's do the minor triads,
So she has
and then let's try to do the vertical triads for the minor triads.
helpful in
I'm
helping
going to do D minor.
ideas and not say things that are misleading.
Sure. The word, I mean, this is the interesting thing about language, actually, is that language, obviously, is the interface to truth. It's so fascinating that individual words can have so much ambiguity and the slight specific choices of the word for particular steps within a complex sentence can have so much such a difference in meaning.
to h of xn given x2, xn minus 1 given x2, like the marker property. And then, because it's stationary, it's equal to h of x. I have to write it down. Xn minus. Anyway, there's a three-line proof.
So, but the assumption of stationarity, we're using a lot of terms that people don't understand,
Right.
but it doesn't matter. So there's some kind of, Markovian dynamics is basically trying to model some kind of system with some probabilities, and there's agents, and they interact in some kind of way, and you can say something about that system as it involves stationarity, stationary system is
All right.
certain properties.
Before we get too distracted with that, that was pretty solid minor arpeggio and triad practice. Let's do the vertical triads. And I just noticed it's the same intervals, but in a different order as the major triads, right? So,
the more constraints, the more assumptions you take, the more predictive, the more interesting, powerful things you can say, but sometimes they're limited. That said, we're talking about consciousness here. How does that, you said cooperative, competitive,
so it's like the pentatonic, the triple jump, and then the quadruple. So it's the 2, 3, 4. It's not a 2, 3, 4. That's a conflation of terms, but there's a 2 gap, a 3 gap, and a 4 gap.
Projection, some trivial projection into space-time from some much larger organism that I can't possibly comprehend. How the hell, you're saying some, yes, you're building a mathematical intuition. Fine, great, but I'm having an existential crisis here. I'm gonna die soon. We'll all die pretty quickly, so I want to figure out what the questions. So help me out here. So let's just keep speaking up to this.
Right. So the whole technical problem will say this: even if the levels of consciousness is stationary, so that there is no any projection, any view of it, will have the artifact of entropic time. That's a limited resource. Limited resources. So the fundamental limits have no limits, limited resources whatsoever. Any projection will have certainly time as limited resources, probably lots of other limited resources. Hence we could get competition and evolution and nature.
We're gonna practice these vertical triads every day, and then that's gonna. That one in particular, it's a small one. Doesn't seem like it'd be that important, but that would add so much. Because whenever you try to do like a jump up to a higher note, you have all of this ingrained muscle memory of the triads, which are the roots of like pretty much every chord. And so if you can nail those triad jumps every time and have a muscle memory for that, then you're probably in a good position to hit a good note every single time you go up to a higher note. Sometimes it's like you'll hit like one under what you want to be. This is going to help like erase that problem.
This notion of self.
So, it's going to give you
The notion of self.
evolution, you see the notion of self.
And also of self separate from other self. So the idea would be
The
that
competition has life and death and all those kinds of things.
that's right. So it won't. I don't think, as I said, I don't think that I can tell you how a formless gives rise to the experience of entropic. Right now, my current theory says that's one of the miracles of Intuition. So my theory can't do it. And the reason my theory can't do it is because Hoffman's brain can't do it right now. but the notion of self, yes. The notion of self can be an artifact of the projection of a. So there's one conscious agent. Because anytime conscious agents interact, they form a new conscious agent. So there's one conscious agent. Any projection of that one conscious agent gives rise
vertical triads are pretty annoying. That's how you know you gotta practice them real hard.
in some nuanced, interesting way or some major way consciousness about just topics of reality that you return to often. It's like Christopher Hitchens with Rabbi David Wolpe had interesting conversations through the years that added to the complexity of the universe. Is there somebody like that that over the years has been a source of disagreement with you, has strengthened your ideas?
My ideas have been really shaped by several things. One is the physicalist framework that my scientific colleagues, almost to a person, adopted and that I adopted until the reason I walked away from it was because I became clear that we couldn't start with conscious ingredients and root of consciousness.
Can you define physicalist? What is in contrast to reductionist?
So a physicalist, I would say, is someone who takes space-time objects and space-time as ontologically being.
Right, and then reductionist is saying the smaller, the more fundamental.
That's a methodological thing. That's saying within space-time, as you go to smaller and smaller scales in space, you get a lot
I just gotta remember the order. It's 2,
And
3,
you know,
4,
the
2,
reduction
3,
of
4 in terms of the
temperature to
interval jumps.
particle was an example of that, but I think that the reason that worked was almost an artifact of the nature of our interface.
That was for a long time, maybe your colleagues, including yourself, were physicalists and
Broke away because I think you can't start with unconscious ingredients and
Jesus.
build up consciousness. And
so even with Roger Penrose, where there's like a gray area.
right, and here's the challenge I would put to all of my friends and colleagues who are give one specific conscious experience that you can boot up. Right, so if you think that it's integrated information, and this I've asked this Julia Tononi a couple times, back in the 90s and then just a couple years ago. I asked Julia, okay, so great, integrated information. So we're all interested in explaining some specific conscious experiences. So what is pick one, the taste of chocolate. What is the integrated information precise structure that we need for chocolate? Why does that structure have to be for chocolate? And why is it that it could not possibly be vanilla? Is there any one specific conscious experience that you can account for? Because notice they've set themselves the task of booting up conscious experiences from physical systems. That's the task they've set themselves.
But that doesn't mean they're. I understand your intuition, but that doesn't mean they're wrong just because they can't find a way to boot it up yet.
That's right. No, that doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means that they haven't done it. I think it's principle. The reason is principle. But I'm happy that they're exploring it. But the fact is, the remarkable fact is there's not one theory. So integrated information theory, orchestrated collapse of microtubules, global workspace theory.
These are all theories of consciousness.
These are all theories of consciousness. There's not a single theory that can give you a specific conscious experience that they say, here is the physical dynamics or the physical
that was enough vertical triads. We spent a lot of time on this rhythm shit, so I'm gonna turn it down to 60, and we're just gonna go through all of the little rhythms, the half notes, quarter notes, all of that shit.
And somehow it's the complexity of the dynamics.
I'm gonna turn on a little amp.
The function of the physical system that somehow is creating.
Turn the drive way down.
Then I can understand. See, then the whole picture starts to come into focus. Why my colleagues are brilliant, right? These are really smart people. Francis Crick worked on this book. Steve Pinker, one of his says, look, he likes the global workspace. This is the last dollop of theory, which something is like.
Good. Well, that tune up. And then what we skipped was really the picking exercises. This is more of a rhythm thing. I don't know if the order of that really matters too much. I want to return to the sweep picking thing. You had a good sweep picking exercise that we got to work on every day. Just get the speed up on that one. I'm gonna take a piss in a second after I tune my guitar.
To say that there's other fundamental things we don't understand outside of space-time that are actually core to how this whole thing works is a bit paralyzing, because it's like, oh, we're not 10% done. We're like 0.001% done.
Well,
Is the immediate feeling.
I certainly understand that. My attitude about it is, if you look at the young physicists who are searching for these structures beyond space-time, like amplitude and so forth, they're having a ball. Space-time, that's what the old folks did. That's what the older generation did. We're doing something that really is fun and new, and they're having a blast, and they're finding all these new structures. So I think that we're going to succeed in getting a new deeper theory. I can just say what I'm hoping with the theory that I'm working on. I'm hoping to show that I could have this timeless dynamics of consciousness, no entropic time. I take a projection, and I show how this timeless dynamics
Alright.
and the entire evolution of space-time. In other words, I see how my whole space-time interface.
I like about these high school girls.
Projection doesn't just look like
I get older,
space-time.
they stay the same age. Alright.
So the origin of
That's what we have to do, and that's what physicists understand. When they go beyond space-time, the amplitude and the cosmological molecule, they ultimately know that they have to get back to the Big Bang story, the whole evolution, that whole story.
So this is a way flimsier
And then
pick.
they
This is the
explode.
same
Just part
style
of
of pick. This one is
Eventually the cooling
1
down,
millimeter and this one is
differentiation,
0.6 millimeters.
matter condenses and
Or
then
centimeters maybe. Or no, it's
the
millimeters.
story has to come out of something that's deeper without time.
And so this is way flimsier. Look at the flexibility on this one.
We want to get that. So the
But it's kind of got a different feel. I like it, but it's for like specific things really. You know what I mean?
much deeper theory, and for someone like me, it's a lot. I mean, but for the younger generation, this is like, oh wow, all the low cherries aren't picked. This is really good stuff. This is really new fundamental stuff. To read the papers of the
So we're gonna
younger generation.
work on that
Wanna see
sweep picking idea and just try to get the speed
Ah,
up
kids
from
these
very low
days
speed.
with their non-space-time assumptions. It's just interesting looking at the philosophical tradition of this difficult ideas.
I'm gonna start at 50, which is extremely slow.
Like Immanuel Kant. What are some interesting agreements?
I'm gonna try the flimsy pick. No, I'm gonna go back to the sturdier pick.
So there's a lot of so Kant was an idealist.
Get this fucking sweet picking. This is how we gotta do it. We gotta go fucking so slow. And then speed it up from there. Turn it up a little bit. We'll go to 65.
A lot. And it's sort of scary. Yes, in fact, it lasts for a few milliseconds, a few hundred milliseconds, and then it's gone.
sweet picking. I want to kill sweet picking. I hate sweet picking.
Have our
Fuck you, sweet picking.
self and importance enhanced by having that special car or that special house or that special person.
Just slightly.
When in fact,
We're gonna switch to something else.
just the opposite. You create that mansion every time you look. You're something far deeper than that magic.
This is the thumb positioning technique thing that we got earlier from Burnt. It's in harmonic minor, and the idea is we just gotta keep our thumb behind our middle finger.
physicists are like the amplitude here. It turns out they're just static structure, they're polytopes.
I should have been working on that before. These the 3 note per string harmonic minor. I mastered all the modal 3 note per strings. I gotta master the 3 note per strings for the harmonic minor. We add this 4 note per string for the modes,
all the vertices of this polytope,
and then 3 note per string
are permutation matrices. All the internal points are Markovian kernels that have
dominant scales.
Uniform measure as a stationary measure.
I need to intuit a little better what the heck you're talking about, but so basically there's some complicated thing going on with the network of conscious agents, and that's mappable to this.
We rewrite this legato, vibrato section thing here.
The scattering has to do with what? With our perception, like that's like photon stuff, or I mean, I don't know if it's useful to sort of dig into detail.
I'll do just the high level thing.
Yes.
So the high level is the long-term behavior of the conscious agent. Now, so that's the
So
projected
legato, we
tempo
should
movement.
practice legato because that's like the combination of rhythm and picking in a weird way.
The amplitude-hedron then gives rise to space-time. So then I can just use their link to go all the way from consciousness.
5-minute legato workout for intermediate players.
Legato.
And that's
Much
why you
more
mentioned
than just
communication
hammer-ons and
is
pull-ups.
nice
Mastering
to
this
try
awesome
and
playing
change.
style will allow you to play
connection
super
with the
fast,
amplitude
fluid, and unique licks,
permutation matrices
and the
are the
upcoming
core of the
legato
amplitude
workout
hedron.
will
And
greatly
it turns
help
out
you
they're
out
the
with that.
core
You will play
of the
along with me,
asymptotic
and for
structure.
simplicity's sake, all of this is based on the A
So
minor
not to
scale.
sort of bring
You're
up the idea
ascending
of
and descending
creator,
for
but
pattern
I
1
think
while switching between 16th notes and 16th note triplets. That's obviously great for the timing, and those short speed bursts will help with pushing your technique further. And here's the twist, then you switch to 16th note triplets gently to form 2 measures to
Oh,
push
seriously?
yourself outside your current comfort zone before the next
Let me
tempo
pause
block
this.
begins.
Alright.
Since this is a daily workout challenge, once again, you can comment the date of today's practice session and the tempo you're currently stuck at. Then you come back the next day and you try to beat those results until you can complete this full legato challenge workout. One last thing before we start
Good.
practicing together. If you feel completely stuck with your legato technique while you're practicing this, so you can't really make all the notes audible, or you're cramping up with your fretting hand as soon as things get faster, or maybe you don't know about the perfect position of your fretting hand thumb to get the most amount of support for the rest of your fingers, make sure to check out the brand new awesome 30-day legato online course I made for all members on patreon.com/Bernd. This one starts out with the absolute legato technique basics, and you work on different easy to intermediate exercises in 5-day blocks, with the goal of completing the challenging workout from this video in 30 days. As always, the link is in the description and in the first comment below. Subscribing right now also definitely won't hurt your guitar progress. That way you will be notified as soon as the next workout is published on this channel. Alright, enough talk, let's work on those legato gains together now.
Alrighty. Let's just start at 30 BPM. Alright, well we can do this. Here, check it. It's just a 3-note per string harmonic, or natural minor. It's not even harmonic minor. And you throw in those triplets. So it's like. So are those pull-offs? Oh, I see. So I guess is legato supposed to be all hammer-ons and pull-offs? Was I just misunderstanding what legato was this whole time? Cool. So it's like. Alright, so judging by how we played that, we definitely need to work on that. So let's just throw it at 30 BPM. Let's just do it. I'll put it at 60, because that's a multiple of 30. And I will say this, I was talking earlier about how we had to work on our hammer-ons and pull-offs. This is it, the legato exercises. That's how you work on the hammer-ons and pull-offs and incorporate that into a musical thing. So this is really good, because I can play that, but I want to have smooth hammer-ons and pull-offs. And so this is what I got to really fucking work on. And so let's do this for like 30 days, he said. Do this 30 days. And then by the end of the 30 days, you're going to have beautiful legato and hammer-ons and pull-offs and all that. see how sloppy that is? Like, yeah, I'm playing the notes technically, but it sounds like shit. So this is sick. Alright. I'm pausing because I want to give myself a breather, but let me explain. Working on the hammer-ons and the pull-offs. We're working on the rhythm. We're working on triplets. We're working on picking technique. We're working on 3-note per string scales. There's so many things going on in this at the same time. So, fuck, that's going to be a daily one for sure. I'm going to do that daily and just try to get the speed up to like 120, 130, that sort of region. Right now we're at 60, so we're just going to try to double our speed in 30 days. I wonder how quickly we can do that. And thing is, I can play it right now. Right now it's really fucking, like I could play it perfect, or not perfect, I could play it, I could play all the notes. But it doesn't sound good, and the pull-offs are weak, and the hammer-ons are... We want to clean that up. We want to be clean. So then you go... You know what I mean? The classic legato thing. You play up real fast. And if we wanted to make this, we'll do this like when we kind of master that and we start raising the speed. We can do a similar thing like we did for that alternate picking exercise with the pentatonic, where the exercise only used one pentatonic position. It was like. And then what we ended up doing is we ended up going through all of the 5 positions with the same exercise, right? Right? So we can probably end up doing for this legato exercise, go through the 7 modes with the same sort of thing, right? So this is in A minor. We can probably go and do that in like E Phrygian too, and just kind of go through each of the modes and all that shit, right? Or we can do that in C major. Right, and just go through all of the modes with the same sort of legato technique. So I think that's what we're going to try to work up to. So that's our 30-day goal with that thing. Do that for 30 days, and then we'll be able to go up and down real fast legato in all of the modes in the 3-note per string shapes. Beautiful. That's a beautiful goal. That will pay a lot of dividends. Alright, so let's just get working on this. I'm gonna put it up to 70, just because I'm a real badass. happens if you try playing it? No, let's not speed it up. That's a terrible habit to just try to. Well, let's try playing it really fast, because then you're ingraining the sloppiness. That's probably why I'm so sloppy in the first place. Because I'm just like, well, I can kind of play that. Let's do it fast now, and then you hide all the mistakes. They're going, whatever the fuck, right? Yeah, and that's gonna help us with our hammer-ons and pull-offs, because if you listen or if you look or you know what legato is, right? I'm just picking once at the beginning. I'm just hitting it once, and then I hammer on. And then on the reverse, I pull off. Right? And so if I can manage to do that at a very high speed on the 3-note per string scale shapes for each of the modes, then you can get really fast, clean legato playing, and then you sound like a fucking beast. And so that's probably more attainable than sweep picking right now. Sweep picking, for some reason, is really difficult for me. Like, I'm doing this exercise. That's pretty tough. Alternate picking is doable. Legato is doable. I can do it, but I haven't practiced it at all. So this seems like a pretty solid daily one to start doing. I'm gonna put up to 100, just to try it out, which isn't that fast, but we'll see. There's another exercise though. So we're going to do that every day. Alright, so I want to see this second pattern. I think it's in the same scale shape, but he messes around with the triplets. It's all 16th notes. That's badass. Alright, so then it's the same scale, but then see how we're going. The next pattern is right? You need 16th notes the whole way through. And then it goes. So here, I'll put it at 60 again. We're going to do the first position, then we're going to go to the second position, and do the first pattern, then second pattern, first pattern, second pattern. We'll go back and forth. Fuck that up. Alright, do the second pattern. Turn it down to 30 because that's what he wanted it to be. But that forces you to keep a very steady beat because you don't got a lot of support. And I think that's interesting. To me, I like to hear the beat, but that's probably a better way to practice it. Do it real slow. And you know what? I think I'm going to turn on some extra little, not distortion, just get a little more gain so I have a little more sustain on my guitar, my virtual amp here. Maybe I'll put a compressor on. There you go, that's a lot more sustain. Already some improvement on my hammer-ons and pull-offs. I don't know if it's really... This is going to be a 30-day thing, where then we'll look back at February 14th on March 14th, and it'll be like, God damn, I got mad legato. I can't believe I didn't have that before. bad, just because that's just, like, 30 is too slow. 45 is slow as fuck too, but... Oops, I fucked up the triplet thing. Or, well, they're all triplets, but there's one little area where they become 16th notes. Hang on, let's just listen to this and see the rhythm of it. Alright. I see why he wants us to start slow with it so we get the rhythm of it better, but it's kind of annoyingly slow, which means I probably should practice it that slow. So let's, hold on, let me figure out, I know I just listened to it, but let's try this again. Okay, 1, 2. The 2 hits on the 7th. See, the reason why he wants us to do it this slow is so that when we bring it up to the higher speeds, then we're maintaining the series of like 8th quarter, whatever the fuck, 16th and all of that. So we're playing 16th notes. Like, this is so slow. It's like the slowest 16th notes I've ever heard, but because it's 30 BPM, then those are technically 16th notes. Right? And so that when we speed it up, then we can maintain the 16th notes at a higher speed, but from a very low speed. So that makes total sense. Now the 2. Why does that sound so loud? We're gonna have crazy legato in just a couple days. I'm certain of it. Before you know it, Bob's your uncle. It's almost like it's too slow, like I want to speed it up, but I gotta just play it super slow. yayas out there. Let me shake my hands. Doing the hokey pokey right now. So when we go to position 2 or the pattern 2, we gotta, since we're doing all these 16th notes, we end early. So we gotta to catch the beat. Kind of odd. I don't like when he throws little goofy things at the end of the exercise, but what are you gonna do? I feel like I'm just so passively better. I'm just passively better at every little skill. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm a guitar god yet, but that takes no effort at all. Yucky. We're just gonna keep working on it. We're just gonna keep it going. And then at some point we become a guitar god. If not already. If you believe that every person is a god, that consciousness, we are all God created us in His image. We are all created in the image of God. Then every individual is of the divine, holy significance, and as such, I am already a guitar god. Great. Good. I can check that off the list. Guitar God. Achieved. must become a guitar god among gods. I gotta be like the Zeus of guitar. Okay. So, this legato situation. Alright, so this is how it's like when he reaches 90 BPM. It's unbelievable. Yeah, alright, so then we can get there in like 30 days. We just gotta do that every day. I don't want to get too into the weeds over this legato stuff. But we're gonna do that every day. I guess that'll be in the picking / rhythm exercise part. We can try, okay, so let's do all those alternate picking things, because I got all of those ones memorized. And those were good exercises. I'm going to put that at 90. So, this little shitty, that one sucks, but now let's go through all the positions. Let's go through all of the positions. Let's bust out the Kama Sutra, you know what I'm talking about? Hey! Alright. I'm talking about the pentatonic positions. This one's all. That's right. I'm gonna slow it down to 80 or 75 even. Let's just like let's just focus on this. This is an alternate picking exercise. But what's cool about it is there's also the string hopping, and I've expanded it to the 5 positions of the pentatonic. So we get some pentatonic practice in as well. Jesus. Other than occasionally fucking it, we've clearly improved our alternate picking since we started this exercise. So let's try that again. But that's more of a... See, the problem with how I've made this exercise harder is that it also forces me to like try to memorize all the pentatonic positions too while I'm trying to do the exercise, which is good practice, but it kind of distracts me from the main point of the exercise. And so I'll fuck up for reasons that have nothing to do with alternate picking. But that's alright. fuck up, it's still all good practice, right? Because we're doing all this alternate picking. We did pretty good. We fucked it towards the end. So originally we started at the bottom and worked our way up. But that was the wrong way to do it because the bottom is the harder place to play because the stretch is bigger. And so we start at the top and then we get to work our way down and then it gets harder and harder. That's the smarter way to do the exercise. Alright, let's go one more. Okay, let's just stop going so fast. We're technically going at like 150 because I'm going double speed over 75. Let's just raise it to 90 and let's just go at regular 90. I can't believe I fucked that right there. Alright, let me catch it. Alright, let's do that one more time. Let's try to get it right. Let's just really focus. That's how you know you're gonna fuck it up. Just really focus, right? Well, so we could go to that metal video with the galloping. I'm pretty bored of that shit. I gotta practice that, but that shit's pretty boring.
Five on the D, back to and then we're going to play where we're going to play in nines. So I'll play it and then I'll show you it.
It's like there's good shit in this, but it's like the way he does it is so constrained. It's like such a very boring version of metal, you know what I mean? Like, alright, this is the gallop. The gallop goes da 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 da. Like this is the old da 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 da. It's like, do you really need to go to that level with it? Like it's the gallop. The gallop. Gallop pull. What do you want to practice? That legato thing was pretty awesome. I'm pretty pumped with that legato thing. We're gonna do that every day, and that's gonna be pretty important because I try to play legato-y, but it's really uncontrolled. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's a good one to the list. We could look at like other people's daily routines, see what kind of shit other people are practicing. Daily guitar routines. Best daily guitarist. And this is, it's not like, oh, we're gonna copy this guy. It's just, it's good to conceptualize what other people are doing. You know what I mean? Because the idea is, I think for the routine thing, is that you figure out what you need to practice. And then you morph your routine around what you need to practice. This dude's such a fucking weirdo. I hate this guy. I'm just gonna say it. I'm a hater. Brandon Dion Music. I'm a hater. He's so good at guitar, but he's fucking obnoxious. I'm a hater. I don't like this guy. Let's watch this video.
Guitar shit. Lots of videos being put out on the channel here lately. You're probably pumped as fuck about this. No need to get a big dick about it. Instead, why don't you fuck up that like button for me? I really hate when YouTubers ask their audience to like the video as soon as it starts. I would never do this. I've got a real treat for you guitar nerds out there today, because we're going to be covering some really technical non-musical exercises today that will enhance your technique by at least 900. You're going to want to watch this video to the end as well, because these exercises that I'm about to show you truly are the best. And the way I'm defining best is not by my own personal opinion, although that does have a little bit of influence, but also the mass opinion of everybody that's checked out these exercises. Lastly, before we get in, the bulk of my audience is men. So men, I would say that your girlfriend is going to love you for these exercises. I would say that, but I'm not going to because you're probably too ugly to have a girlfriend. Lucky for you though, with the skills that you're going to learn in this lesson, you'll at least be able to play guitar. But if you think playing guitar is going to help you with girls, ha, ha, ha. Wrong! Do you know how many girls I've DM'd in my life with my fancy guitar Instagram? A lot. And do you know how many have replied? Not a lot. Exercise 1. This first exercise is the easiest and most basic, so we're not going to be spending a whole lot of time on it. It's the classic 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise and combinations. It goes like this.
The spider walk. Yeah. All right. Cool. So, all right, he does the spider walk a little differently than I do it. So, I'm always ascending. He does it like, so I go like this. Then once he goes up, he descends. Whereas I always ascend. See this? Dun, 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 dun. I think I started, see, I used to do the descend as well. I think I started only doing ascend because I wanted to really work on the anchoring technique very much. And then you don't get any anchoring when you're descending, but that's all right.
So why do we practice this? To build finger strength and hand synchronism.
It's probably a good idea to start working on the descending spider walk sometime now, some more now. Now that we got the anchoring much more solid.
It's pretty easy, but it's also pretty easy to screw up. The most common mistakes I see my students make are the following. Lifting their fingers as they ascend. Letting open strings ring out. And not sounding smooth and connected.
So, this is all Captain Obvious stuff, but we'll go through it. It's, you don't want to play staccato, like you don't want to play, you want to be smooth. You don't want to lift your fingers, you want to do the anchor, you don't want to be like, you want to anchor. And you don't want open strings to be ringing out while you're doing it. You know what I mean?
If you don't have a strong attention span, you're going to get bored really quick with this exercise. So when that happens, you can start mixing it up with different finger combinations like 2, 4, 1, 3, or 3, 2, 4, 1.
Okay, that's interesting.
Or 4,
Check this.
3, 1,
Let's
2.
see it. So normally the spider walk is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now he's saying like if you get bored with that, what you could do is change to different fingering patterns. So it's 2, 4, 1, 3, right? Or 3, 4, 1. Or 3, 2, 4, 1. Or 4, 3, 1, 2. That's all very interesting. I'm going to start doing that. So I'm going to put that, just so I remind myself, spider walk, plus variations, and I'm going to put above variations 2, 4, 1, 3, comma, 3, 2, 4, 1, and 4, 3, 1, 2. And I'm also going to do, right, metal shape, hammer on, pull off, Cthulhu.
A good rule for practicing the combinations is when you can go up and down 3 times without stopping, you're probably pretty comfortable at that tempo and you can increase the tempo. Exercise 2. This next exercise was shown to me by one of my professors when I was at St. Bex. It's similar to the previous exercise, but a little bit more difficult.
That's why this guy is so annoying. This dude went to music school. Loser.
We still span across 4 frets, but this time we're going to be anchoring one of our fingers down. Which finger you choose is up to you, but I find that it's the hardest when you anchor your ring finger. Check this out.
Huh. Alright, that's a weird one. That's really weird. So what we're doing is we're just going to anchor one of our fingers down and just hold it there for some reason. That's gonna, yeah, that's weird. That's interesting. That is a good kind of addition to the spider walk. It's like, and at least it's another music theory moment where it's like you're using the same word to describe something else, like as a different application of this notion of anchoring. So we're just putting our first finger there, and we're gonna do the rest of the thing with just our other 3 fingers. But we're gonna have our finger there the whole time, and so it forces us to stretch around it. And then we're going to anchor our second finger, and then we're going to do. We're going to anchor our third finger, and we're going to anchor around that. And we're going to play the other. I hate how good of an exercise that is. That is the most obnoxious fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. We're gonna do that tomorrow morning with the spider walk.
So why do we practice this exercise, Brandon? Pretty much the same reasons that we practiced the first one. It's just this one is like the 2.0 version. It stretches the hand more, and it's just better than the first one. And these exercises might feel pretty tough on the pinky, but that's normal. It just means you're a bitch. Exercise 3. This next exercise is going to isolate your right hand. It's built for speed. Get this down, and you'll be playing faster than Jed. Basically, what we're going to do is play a full bar of 16th notes on the high E string. Then we'll play 2 groups of 16th notes alternating between the E and the B strings. Then we'll play 2 more groups of 16th notes alternating between the E and the G strings. Oh, and you don't need your left hand at all for this exercise. So feast your eyes on this.
This is all right hand. Alright, so basically that one is all about building speed. What is the tempo we had this at? I'll click it out. It's like 110. Okay, so what basically what he does, it just goes doing these 8th notes. 1, 2, 3. Then he hits the other string. Then he string skips. play the metronome. See, let me slow the metronome down to 70. That was a weird one, but I can see how that would be really useful.
What's tricky about this exercise is that you're starting with an upstroke on the down. Naturally, we prefer to start with a downstroke on the down. You can practice it that way if you prefer, but that's not what I demonstrated in the video. But I don't give a shit what you do with it. Go work on the compass. Before you know it, you're going to be playing faster than
Alright, so let's play along.
on this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's playing eighth notes. First he starts with eighth notes, and then he bumps it up to 16. But he starts with eighth notes on the muted string here. Then he goes, it's just all on the high E. Then he starts alternating between the high E and the B string. Then he alternates between the high E and the G string. So it's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then he goes, tries to do 16th notes. See, I can't play it that fast yet, but I can see how if you work on that, then that'll get you like precise string skipping and speed. Because we're not even thinking about notes, just all the picking speed and like the precision. And we're skipping a string there. So let me put that down to like 50. Let's just work on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. See, once you do the string skipping, like I can do the two strings on top of each other, but the string skipping is hard. So I'm gonna turn it down all the way to 30. And we're gonna bring this one up over time. We're gonna put this one under our picking and rhythm exercises portion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. actually. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll do 16th notes. Barely do that. In fact, I couldn't do it. There we go. So 45 is our limit right now. That's our baseline. I hate how good exercise. I hate how good all these exercises are. Because they're clearly all a bunch of fucking music school fucking nerd ass motherfucking shit. But they all are really good. Alright, let's bump it up to 60. And we'll start with the 8th notes. Can't do it that fast. See, once you get to the point where you're straight skipping, I can't do it. So let's move it down to 50. Barely did it. Alright. That's a good one. That's actually a really good one. You could just kind of throw that in for a little bit. I don't think that's when you should practice like really like long. Just like that's like a warm up. So I think you could probably do that after like the triads and the arpeggios and all of that stuff. Then that'll be a part of our picking and rhythm exercises. And I think the idea is that once we get like really solid, it's almost like you can like you don't have to practice these things as long, and you get to practice more things quicker, right? Like once you kind of establish a command over some of the more complicated things, you can breeze through them quicker. So we can like accomplish more. It's like a video game. It's like a rogue-like video game. You know what I mean? Where it's like you generate a whole thing, you try to like fucking level up your dude, then once you die you have to start over. And you try and you fight and you fight and you fight and you start over. And then you go further and further and further each time you play, hypothetically. Like the Binding of Isaac, right? Like you do a run of the Binding of Isaac and then you'll die and then you have to start the run over. I don't know if that's a perfect analogy. But the idea of like you go further and further every single time. So, it's 12 o'clock. I want to see how long I went for. I think I had a bit of a late start, but I went right to it when I did start. So we're coming up on 3 hours. I think what I'll do is I'll head out, have a walk, and then I come back and then I'm going to record some demos. But that was our practice for the day. And so, the good thing that we covered, legato. We have a really good legato exercise that we're going to work on every day. We got some good picking and rhythm exercises. We just figured out some extra levels to the spider walk at the end there too. We put some work into the triads. We practiced the vertical triads. The vertical triads are really boring to practice. It doesn't seem like you're practicing much, but I'm certain that that's really, really, really good to try to ingrain. Because if you can make those vertical leaps and get the right note, that always sounds really, really good. So the vertical triads are extremely important. We did some arpeggio practice. We worked on the alternate picking thing that we do, and those are getting better. We didn't put much time into the galloping or anything like that. But yeah, I think we did our due diligence today. For 3 hours, that was pretty solid. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for the legato thing. We're gonna put some time to that every day. This one looks interesting. Get lightning fast fingers in 2 weeks. Why is my internet fucking up right now? Alright, whatever. We'll just call it quits. I haven't eaten all day. Probably get some food in me. So long.